What did we just witness? I'll tell you. We just witnessed the closest finish in NASCAR history. If you don't know who I am, I'm Ross. I do NASCAR reviews as well as a bunch of other stuff. But oh my. Before we get into the madness that we witnessed tonight, we got to talk about the truck race yesterday, which could have been a thrilling finish, but if there was maybe a lap or two longer. Corey Heim holds off a hard-charging Zane Smith at the end. Corey Heim was facing some big lap traffic at the end, which allowed Zane Smith to close in a lot, but wasn't enough. Christian Eckes ends up third. Caden Honeycutt ends up fourth. Great run for him. I already forgot who was in the one truck. Pretty sure William Sawalich. I might be wrong. Nick Sanchez in sixth. Tanner Gray seventh. Dean Thompson in eighth. Daniel Dye in ninth. Matt Crafton in 10th. Taylor Gray, Chase Purdy, Connor Mosack in the 7th, and Ty Majeski did not finish. Now we get into the big time race. Excuse me. Like I said, the closest finish in NASCAR Cup Series history. I said Cup Series because there was one finish in the Xfinity Series. The closest finish in all of NASCAR history is from the Xfinity Series at Daytona when it was 0.0001. Tonight's finish, Kyle Larson wins, finishing 0.001, 1/1000th over Chris Buescher. Unfortunately, I fell asleep the last 20 laps because I was just dead tired. I kept dozing on and off. And I missed the finish of the race, just like I did in the Kansas race last fall. I'm very pissed off at myself that I missed that unbelievable finish. Finally, the 2003 Darlington race, the Have You Ever, No I've Never, has finally been dethroned by this finish. Chris Buescher, Kyle Larson was told he didn't win. Chris Buescher, everyone thought he won until they showed the replay, and it looked like Larson barely got it. Chase Elliott ends up third, Martin Truex Jr. in fourth. They were right there at the end. That finish could have easily gone 4 wide if the start-finish line was moved closer to turn 1. Denny Hamlin ends up in fifth, Christopher Bell in sixth, Alex Bowman in seventh. See, this is what happens when I fall asleep. I don't know how Alex Bowman got to seventh. I know Kyle Busch ran probably his best race of the year, and then he spun out, causing the final caution. So he's the only reason why this finish even happened in the first place. But then he went from 21st to 8th on the final in 2 laps. That's why Kyle Busch is the GOAT. And that's why he's my favorite driver. A great run for Kyle Busch. Redemption to finish 8th. Noah Gragson with a great run ends up 9th. Michael McDowell in 10th. Ross Chastain, who was up front towards the beginning and for most of this race, ends up 19th. Ty Gibbs, I don't know what happened to him. Joey Logano, Harrison Burton, Austin Cindric, and Jimmy Johnson. I'll recap. Jimmy Johnson, man, just can't figure out that next-gen car in the handful of races he's run. But again, this race is an easy 10 out of 10. Battles all along. Strategy. The last restart before the caution. People staying out. People taking 2 tires. 4 tires. Chris Buescher finished the race on very, very old tires. And I said, right before I fell asleep, it was Kyle Larson's race to lose. And I said that because he was like 9th when I said it. But Kyle Busch, the first guy who pitted, he was on 2 tires. Larson was the first on 4 tires, and those 4 tires eventually came in advantage. I just can't believe that we witnessed the closest finish in NASCAR history. And now, even bigger news that I might be heading to Charlotte in a couple weeks for the Coca-Cola 600. So obviously I will be documenting that. But But yep, that's going to be it for me. It's a very short video. I don't want my phone to run out of storage again like it did the last 2 weeks after Talladega and Dover. But yeah, I'll be back. I know it's Mother's Day next weekend, but don't worry, I'll be here to talk about the Darlington throwback race next week. In February, when we saw that 3-wide photo finish at Atlanta, I thought nothing could top that. Well, it happened. Kansas topped it. I just can't believe it. This is Ross Belkin signing off. Have a good week, everybody. See you guys next Sunday.